Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mind Matters. On today's show, I've got a very special guest for you. He's just recently completed a 160-mile run in 5 days, an ultra marathon for charity. And today I'll be asking him or unpicking his brains as to what led him to put his body through that punishment. He's a father of four, a business owner, and he's extremely dedicated to helping, charities. Doing my research on him, I'm well aware that it's not just one charity that he's helped. He's helped several charities in his past. We'll go into depth on how he's sort of got through the dark times. I'm really pleased to have him here. So welcome, Nathan. Nice to have you. Let's get chatting.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first of all, I guess I want you to take me back to when you sort of first started training, if you like, how you got into health and fitness and running and what have you.
So from a very young age, I was always playing football or rugby in school. Every day in school, dinner and evening, I was playing rugby for the school. They were pretty good, basically. Went around the UK playing with the school. Then I found football with Marshfield, and just everything revolved about the club. Playing football, training Tuesday and Thursday, playing a Saturday and a Sunday.
For people who don't, for the listeners who don't know Marshfield, I know I probably only had about 2 games for Marshfield myself, but I know because I got a lot of friends who used to play for Marshfield. They were not professional, but a really high standard. They took it really seriously, didn't they, in terms of like getting the kit and making sure there was like corner flags per up. It was quite a big deal, wasn't it, Marshfield?
Yeah, it was a very driven club. For the size of the village, we kept on producing cup winning seasons, league winning seasons, year on year, and well, they've gone up to the leagues now. I think they've re-established themselves in the lower leagues now, where they've reformed, but they got up to Gwent County 3rd or 2nd possibly, I think. So yeah, for a small village, they just keep pumping out the teams.
Quite astonishing, really, wasn't it? What would you say that was like the how that sort of come about? Who was the sort of driving force behind that?
When I was about 10, we always used to play football next to the field and watch the seniors play. Well, seniors, it was the normal club. And then over time, you get to know the players, the managers, and they're like, oh, boys, pop along to training. And so you're 14, just training with the seniors. You felt brilliant. I actually started playing for Marshfield at age 14. I had to take out special insurance because I was the only one in the league who was 14 and playing in that league. But I just found it really easy then.
You were good. From my memory, I can remember you were a pretty good player back in the. What position did you play?
I'm a player that can play anywhere basically. Up front, midfield, right wing, left wing. The only thing I couldn't play was goalkeeper. I was just good everywhere because I knew the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do you still play football now, or?
I was playing 2 years ago for Church Village Vets. It was every couple of weeks so on a Sunday. Couldn't really get stuck into it properly. Stopped playing due to running. With the races I was doing, I didn't want to get injured coming up to it because I put so much work into the training, and finishing the race outweighed playing on the Sunday with football, so that kind of stopped.
So what was the driving force behind you sort of starting long distance running?
During COVID, normal reason, isn't it? Myself wanted to do something bigger than half marathon because I'd done Cardiff Half in 2017, where I basically destroyed my knee. I wasn't able to run for 3 or 4 years due to gait analysis being given, where I was 38 to 40 at the time, and because my legs had formed pretty solid in a certain position, having a new trainer after a gait analysis kind of messed up my knee.
Oh, right.
So after the Cardiff half, my knee was destroyed. So I had to take a couple of years off everything and just try and rebuild it. I had physio from a guy in Lanisham, which is brilliant. He's the Cardiff Blues physio. He gave me a program where I could re-establish my knee, build the strength back up, and be aware of how I was deteriorating through time, where it going back into pain. So it helped me explain what was happening with my knee, and basically it was the cartilage was so big from where I've been playing so much sport over the years, and where I'd stopped doing sport, the ligaments were rubbing on the cartilage and just causing friction all the time.
Right. And so what was that sort of period of time where you couldn't do anything physical?
3 years.
How was that mentally for you?
Tough. It leaves a big void completely. But that's where I found the love of CrossFit. With CrossFit then I was able to realise that I liked being really uncomfortable. I liked leaving that gym dying. Yeah.
It's almost having that sort of attitude of, you've got to push yourself to the the depths. It's a little bit sadistic, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's like, I suppose it's like a form of self-harming, I suppose, because you go in that extreme and pushing your boundaries so much that it bloody hurts. But you just keep going back and back and just pushing your limits even more and more. Because I always say to people that the hardest part of running is the first 5k, because you're just trying to train your mind into sort of like being uncomfortable. And the 5k is a hard distance due to the fact that your endurance, what's the word I'm looking for? Mine's gone. You move, your body moves up through different energy systems, and by the time it gets to the one where it's for the endurance, your 5k is pretty much over. And if people push past that, get used to the breathing, get used to that pain, you become more relaxed and you just push through. But it's just that initial being uncomfortable in that first 5k, learning to be uncomfortable, and that's what every long run I'm doing is doing to myself. It's just pushing a bit more and showing me what I'm actually capable of.
Is it so? Does it come down to the self-talk? Is that, because we know the body can do a lot more than we think it can. It's the mind that will give up before the body. So do you think it's the self-talk when you're doing these longer runs and sort of pushing to the extremes? Is it what is the self-talk that's going on in your head?
For me, I've got an overwhelming drive to finish, because the fear of not finishing is more, if that makes sense. Like when I start a run, I think to myself, it's all about like self-management through the run. How's my body feeling? How's my breathing? I just manage in the moment to get me to my end goal. It's very difficult, but it's almost a form of therapy as you're running as well, because you're only focusing for like 6-8 hours purely on how you're feeling, how your body is and how your breathing is, so you completely black out of everything else. It's just crazy sport.
It's almost like a form of meditation, right?
It's nuts, yeah, absolutely crazy. I remember the first run, the long run I did was, so I'd gone from doing 12 miles up to a 50k ultra within 6 months. And when I finished, I can remember going over the line and just in floods of tears. It was nuts. I remember speaking to the wife on the phone. I'm crying. I have no idea why I'm crying. I just can't stop. But you were just so exhausted and relieved that you'd actually done it. Because that day, I remember on the start line speaking to someone, and they said, "Oh, how many ultras have you done?" I said, "My first." And they're like, "What? You've chose this one as your first one?" I was like, "Yeah."
Which one was it?
It was the Endurance Life Gower 50. So it's all around the Gower along the coast. So you start off in Oxwich, go out towards Vasili, and then back along the coast to Oxwich again.
What's the gradient like?
6,500 foot. So that's why they were like, "What, you chose this one?" So yeah, I think there was a cut off for the last checkpoint for 7 hours, and I made it within 10 seconds. But once I got through that checkpoint, I was like, "That's it. All I got to do now is just make it to the end. No worry about pace." I came in last, but God, it was amazing.
It was an achievement.
Yeah, and when I seen the results then posted online, there was like 80 people who didn't finish it. So I was like, "Oh, wicked."
Yeah.
But it kind of gives you a superpower as well.
Yeah.
A dangerous one, because you think, "Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, it's only that far. Let's go do that."
Yeah. So what's the complications of it potentially? You know, because you've had this.
It's not your cardio that's going to pack up first. It's going to be your body. So, like last week, first 2 days, my calves were really tight. So by the fourth day, where your calves are tight, your body changes the way you move and switches off muscles to protect them.
Right.
So by doing that, it put all my pressure and load through my quads.
Right.
So by the fifth day, that right quad, it felt like it was cramping every time I took a step, and like I was like putting my hand on the back of my legs, and you could hardly feel any tension off them. They just weren't firing, my quads and my glutes.
Funny enough, I'd done the Cardiff Half Marathon last year. That was like my first at the time doing sort of long distance, and I had trained. I think it was something like 15 kilometers prior to the race. That was the longest distance I'd run. And then on the day of the Cardiff Half, my fitness, I felt absolutely fine. Like, yeah, in fact, you know Wayne, don't you?
Yeah.
Me and him were sort of together through quite a lot of it, and he was struggling. He said, "Just go without me. Just go on." And I thought, actually, yeah, I'm going to. And I sort of ploughed on through the Roath area, and I still felt like fine. But as soon as I got to Roath Park Rec, my calf just went, and the whole remainder of the distance, I was in absolute agony. You know, literally hoppling through the rest of the race.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, my fitness was fine, but my body was like, no, not having this.
Yeah. So yeah, all my work is just gym work, trying to prevent injury and stuff. Because I've spoke to there's a guy called Rhys Jenkins who held the record for the quickest around the Welsh Coastal Path. For 3 years he held that record, and he was saying that gym work is more important than running, because his training runs are only like 10 to 15 miles, because he knows that his cardio will just carry him through. It's just gym work.
Right, that's something you actually specialise in your PT in, isn't it? The because you know, again, I've looking through your social media, I have seen certain things where you're teaching people exercises to do to try and prevent those injuries.
Yeah, so a lot of the exercises I give people are for injury prevention and just age longevity, because as we get older we get stiffer. Most of the time it's because we've sat at a desk all day or sat on a sofa all day, so I give people exercises just to help with posture, activate their glutes so their back doesn't hurt. Just little things on hip flexors as well, because they're only a small area but they create so much tension in your back and stuff. So yeah, I look at the longevity for clients rather than sort of like weight loss and stuff like that.
Yeah, because what's the name of your PT business?
Midlife muscle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because obviously as I said earlier, I'm turned 40 now, and I think it's, you know, an important time as ever when you sort of hit your 40s to make sure that you stay in good shape. Would you say?
Yeah, because we all play sport when we're younger, but when we sort of like get families and stuff, we tend to sort of like shift our focus towards our families, and we feel guilty for going out on a Saturday to play football, going out on a Sunday morning to play football when our kids want to go out and play football. So who's going to take them? Or the wife wants to go out for lunch. So our focus changes to the family, but with that, we sort of like leave behind our own health and well-being. And you notice it more for guys who are in the team sports, but he leaves a massive void, because you're going from like that little team community to bantering with your mates all the time to nothing. And it's the same for people in the army. When they come out, they're leaving that team behind out to nothing, and it's just empty for them. So you can see why there's so much depression and anxiety in middle-aged men.
Yeah. Is it, do you, because I know you've got a bit of a community as well with your running as well, don't you?
Yeah, I was at a run club every Sunday morning at the Pure Gym. A lot of those have come over now and gone to Running Punks. So every Sunday morning I'll go out for a run with Running Punks. I'll have a look to see who's running further somewhere else and have a little run with them. There's loads of little groups in South Wales for running. It's amazing how many groups, when you look at it, are out there for people who want to run. It's great. So because I know so many people, I can pick and choose where I want to go. Where you want to go. Okay.
So I just want to sort of take you a little bit further back now to what you said at the beginning, about why you got into long distance running. You said you sort of started it through COVID. I know you've just recently completed this mammoth of an ultra marathon of 160 miles. Was that, and I know that was for charity as well, wasn't it, for Big Moose? Do you want to just talk about that?
So back at the start of the year, I had a plan to do 6 ultras in the year, 6 ultras in 6 months. It's part of like the Pegasus Slam, where you just do an ultra first weekend of every month with this company, get a medal at the end of it. And because of that, you get loads of like ads pop up on your Instagram and stuff. And with Big Moose as well, there was an advert for this race. It was an invite only race. So I thought, do you know what? I really fancy, because it would have been a month after my last race. So I thought that'd be perfect to really test myself then. So I signed up for it and just thought nothing of it. And then a couple of months later, a black envelope come to my door. I opened it up and all it said on it was, "Why we run, you're in." I was like, oh shit, I've got to do it now.
There's no going back.
Yeah, so I spoke to the wife. I was like, oh no, I can't go away for a week, because again, you feel guilty for taking yourself away from the family because for your own thing. But then I was going, I've got to do it. I feel quite privileged to be invited to it. Yeah. And I thought, well, I've been running all year for Big Moose. Why don't I just continue running for Big Moose, considering this is for Big Moose? So the week was 30 runners. So we had 30 runners from around the UK and Ireland. And we were just running for why. We just wanted to run with no winners, no losers, just to run to really establish why we are running. And the week got quite emotional because of that, because while we were actually thinking about running, we had talks from people who talked about years suffering from depression and stuff like that. So it was all around sort of like that why. And
what was your why?
I think in the end it was personal achievement and just proving to all the people that made my life hell in work life, basically, fuck off.
Yeah.
I can do it. And even on the runs, I was running thinking I have to achieve this now, because I bet they're watching and they'll just laugh if I fail. So that was a driving factor as well, to push, just to say, fuck you all.
Do you have you sort of put that to bed now? So because of that run and your why and that sense of achievement, has that now sort of allowed you to have closure on the fact that, you know, you're doing it to almost sort of, you know, give you the middle finger up to those guys, but
For that bit, yeah. But I think from the week of running, has taught me is that I run and I do inspire quite a lot of people by doing it, because I'm 46, 87 kilos now. I was 105. So I think my running now is beyond running for myself, it's for others. And I think that I can do a lot more running in terms of like challenging myself to help Big Moose and charity work.
it's almost as if your why has changed now.
Yeah, definitely. That we did really put things in perspective as to like what I can do for others.
And so where'd you go next with the next challenge? What is next for you?
I am sort of planning and hoping that it all comes together to run the Welsh coastline.
And how far would that be?
870 miles.
What?
Yeah. The record's 17 days.
Is that something that you want to try and beat? You know, the 17 days, or is it just to get to that milestone?
I think I'd like to say that I just want to get to the milestone, but I think all those years playing football, people know me that I'm really competitive, and I will always have that time in mind. I think if I did, I think I worked out to 55 miles a day, I could beat the record.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know.
Would you say that, you know, the competitive edge in you is a help or has been a hindrance?
It's a help, yeah. It gives you that drive and a bit of an edge over people. Because I've spent the year like running with some amazing runners, people who are like super fit compared to me. Because I'm a middle of the pack runner, but I always pace myself and just to finish. I'm not bothered about time. I just want to finish. And I see a lot of them give up this year, not finish races, really struggle, get injured. So I just know that the way I run, I'm quite good at managing my own body and stuff like that to get me over the finish line. And I think if I did the Welsh Coastal, that it'd be one day at a time. So every day I had to like get back, stretch, do a little like glute activation, and just make sure everything's firing properly, ready for the next day.
I can almost see that you've like visualised yourself doing this
100%.
Welsh Coastal. You know, you've kind of planned it out in your mind. Is there like, is there any other preparation that you think you'd need to sort of do for it, or is it
Obviously training.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start that probably just after Christmas properly now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, would that be for charity?
Yeah, I went for Big Moose.
Yeah. So what's the reason behind the because like I said, I looked right through your social media and you know, you've done it for mental health, you've done it for cancer, you know.
I think Big Moose, I'd love to run for loads of charities who deal with mental health, but I think Big Moose is the one that I've seen them acting on stuff. I'm seeing people and hearing people get the help they needed off them. So I can see they really take action quite quickly. So that's why I've got involved so much for them this year. And then with me meeting Jeff and Chloe, the founders, last week, God, Jeff's an inspirational bloke. He's like climbed Everest, done wing walks. He's just crazy.
Wow.
And Chloe, she's done the same. I think she climbed Kilimanjaro and she was the youngest Welsh woman to ever do it. She was, I think she was only 14 at the time. She raised something like 60 grand.
I guess when you see those, so and in that sort of bracket yourself now as well, like you said earlier with your running, when you see the likes of them guys doing what they do and being the front runners for what they put themselves through, that inspires everyone else then, doesn't it, to sort of get up and say, yeah, I'm gonna do something as well for this charity. And like I said, Big Moose is just growing from strength to strength.
Yeah, definitely. I think I can describe Jeff as someone you just want to hug all week, because he's just so inspirational. He just makes you feel like you can do anything. I think, well, so this morning I had a message off him asking me, "Oh, you should come do life stories for me for Big Moose." I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna have to now, because he's asked." So yeah, he's just, when he asks you something, you
There's
just,
no saying no.
Yeah, crazy.
So how do you think how are you feeling for the life stories? This is good practice for it, right?
It is, yeah. So I have been thinking about what I'm going to say in it, and how deep and dark I want to go. But I also know that when one of the other guys who was doing the same night, Lewis, he's going to have a good story as well. I think he's going to end with why we run, and probably so will I. I don't want to steal his thunder, because I think the journey I had out the run was just stunning. The last, because I got injured with my quad, I literally had to walk half the day. So I made peace with the fact that I was going to come in last. But I just thought, I was meant to come in last year, because the longest one I'd done before that was 52 miles up in Brecon, and it pissed down all day. But when I come in the end, the sun was out, it was sunset, it was beautiful, you could see Pen and Fan in the distance. It was just a perfect way to
Like
end
a sign.
it. Yeah. And then on the last day was same thing, sunset, it was just beautiful. So I started visualising, so me going up that last hill, seeing everyone there waiting for me. And then I thought about, wouldn't it be great to have Stereophonics, Fly Like an Eagle, playing on? Because that song had been playing all week on my playlist, and it was so right for why we were all there. So as I was coming up the hill, tears started going, because I was like, I just finished 11 ultras in bloody 7 months. I don't think there's anyone in Wales that's done that this year. So it was kind of sinking in. Oh, sorry, just previous to that though, I just before I was going to come off the coast, Lewis's parents had just met me at the bottom to see if I was okay, and they were going to walk me up the hill. So I said, "Oh, sorry to be a pain, but can you just give me 5 minutes? I just need to sit here and just take this in," because I had to have a moment to try and ground myself, because I was that emotional to think, 11 ultras, that's 160 miles this week, that's just nuts. I just sat there on the cliff top watching the sunset for 5 minutes before I went up the hill. So as I was going up the hill, then you could see everyone out there in front of the finish line. So I come to the gate again. I had to bend over and just deep breath, because I was gone. And then when I was coming in, then the music was playing, and then everyone started crying. Went over the line, everyone started hugging, and then I got my medal, and everyone just jumped in for a massive group hug, and it just went nuts. Everyone was just in tears. It was just bonkers.
Sounds amazing.
Oh, it was stunning. But yeah, what were you talking about?
I don't know. It doesn't really.
No.
This is the great thing about these shows. We're just chatting. But one thing I did want to ask though, especially for any listeners who are into their running, and how you said earlier, you're one of these guys who sits at the middle, and there's nothing. Kind of, it's fair to say that you've got a rock solid mindset. So, what advice would you give to other runners who maybe they know they're fit, but there's periods in time within the race that self-talk sort of convinces them, "Oh, I can't do it anymore," or what have you. How have you got your mindset to be so strong?
I just keep visualising me going over that finish line. keep that in mind and just thinking, right, I'm still moving forward. I'm still taking one step at a time. Just keep going forward. Get to the next checkpoint. If you still feel like crap, then think about finishing. But guarantee that in 2 miles time, you'll have a bit of drink, bit of food, and your energy's back up again, and you're good to go. Like even blisters, just take them up, paracetamol, good to go. So yeah, you just gotta grind it out and just think about why are you actually running, why are you doing this? Because running ultras, it can't be about ego. Because a lot of road runners go into ultra think, oh yeah, I can smash this out in like 5 hours because I got a 4 hour marathon time. It won't happen. You got hills, you got mud. Road runners don't like mud.
Different game.
Yeah, it's all about pacing.
Right. Okay.
Just pace yourself. You walk in every hill. Some slopes you can jog up it quite like slowly and get your breath back, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Downhills, I'm pretty good on downhills. Where most people, their quads just get destroyed. Yeah.
Again, I guess it's different types of training. A road runner can't just go from running, marathons and what have you, and go, I'm going to do an ultra next week if they haven't trained properly for it, because you're using, believe it or not, you are using different muscles.
Different muscles, yeah, and it's different mindset. Because I think my average pace over the week was just 4.3 miles an hour, which is quite slow, really, if you think about it, like a 10k race. But that's quite quick for an ultra for me.
It's probably the same sort of comparison as like having a UFC fighter fighting a boxer, right?
Yeah, different, yeah.
It's still fighting, but they're just completely different muscles, different styles.
Yeah.
So.
But I'd never go back to road running.
How come?
I just find it bored as hell. Like, what's the newest marathon we got? Newport. Why would you want to run around Newport? It's flat as hell.
Yeah.
So picturesque.
Yeah, no, I get it. So obviously you get to be one with nature, I guess, with the ultra marathons.
Oh yeah, stunning places I've been. Yeah, stunning. Carnarvon Fans, Brecon, Monmouthshire Canals, coastline down the Vale, Gower, and now Pembroke.
I guess it's almost like an escape, is it?
That was amazing. You're just in the middle of nowhere. Like phone service, very limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to just switch off and just
go for it.
Yeah.
So let's just touch on mental health then. What's your experiences with mental health?
So I think about 11 years ago now, I lost a friend. He was an alcoholic when we look at it now. And he died going to get more alcohol. But we all kind of knew that he was struggling, but we didn't really do much about it. Like, we'd always like to talk to him, but because he was like it for so long, we just thought it was a natural thing. Because back then, it wasn't really common knowledge around mental health, the help you're going to get. So we lost him, and I suppose that was the first time when I realised that what mental health can do to someone and the impact it has on everyone that leaves behind.
Yeah, I knew Ryan as well, that he was such a larger than life character.
He's crazy.
And again, part of my reasons for doing this show is because if we can raise, like you say, back in the 60s, 70s, even 80s and 90s, mental health wasn't really talked about, especially in men, because this is that macho thing. Oh, I'm fine, or just get on with it, son. You can't talk about your feelings. Whereas now, I think it's so much more accepted to talk. Say, look, I've got a problem. As we lost a good friend of ours last year as well, and you're right. In the aftermath of what's left, when that person's gone, you go through so many emotions yourself. Then thinking, could have I done more? I should have done this, should have done that, and ultimately we have got to sort of still get on with our lives, but but it does leave a void, doesn't it?
Yeah, massive void, yeah. Like, probably every year, because it's come to his anniversary now. It just brings home a bit.
So I guess that's part of the reason as well, but as well then why, doing the help for Big Moose and everything is so important to you.
Yeah, so I started sort of like looking into sort of like mental health, learning a bit myself. Then I was under a lot of pressure in work, just from someone who just didn't like me. So all my performance grades were like spot on. He just didn't like me. One day he said, the company doesn't want anyone like you in the business. So I remember going home and just breaking down to the wife about it. So we decided to try and get away from that store. So I spoke to personnel, and believe it or not, I ended up getting a promotion because I was performing that well. It was just that store manager did not like me at all. It's because I suppose I'm quite logical. It's like the way I think. I like looking at like data and coming up with solutions, but I also question like things, and a lot of retail managers don't like that. They don't like to be questioned or called out or anything when it is the right thing to do because it's not right for the business. But they just don't like it.
That's a sign of a really bad manager, by the way. Someone who doesn't want to take feedback on, how processes and things could be made better by, someone who's really good at, because we all have different strengths. Being trained in NLP, I realised that we all view the world differently through different eyes, and we all process information differently. And you're obviously, a data person. Well, this guy probably wasn't.
No.
That's not to say he was terrible in other areas, but had he worked with you and said, okay, you're the data guy, I'll take on board what you're saying because you're seeing things that I'm not. But clearly it's a sign of a bad manager.
Yeah. So I went into another role then as a store manager for him. But then my regional manager took a disliking to me because he'd asked us to paint the stores ourselves, not get contractors in, paint them ourselves. So one day we were sat in the manager's meeting, and as a store you're not allowed paint in the store because it's a chemical. Not allowed ladders in store because it's health and safety. So I just put my hand up and asked him, where do we stand with this painting then? If we're not allowed them in store and we'd get pulled by environmental health, you just get it done. I said, well, that's not a good answer. I said, I need a proper answer. I said, even with the ladders, what happens if someone falls because we're not meant to be up
Where's
there?
the risk assessment and method
I
statements
said,
for
can you
starters?
show me the training please for painting a wall, because we're not meant to do that. You just need to get it done. I was like, that's not a great answer, mate, is it? And just before I left, he was retiring. So I sat there in my end of year review, going through every KPI that he'd given us, and I exceeded in all of them. And he still had the nerve to sit there and say, I'm not achieving. I'm not getting a pay rise. I was like, are you fucking serious? I said, why? Oh, because of how. I said, does it matter how? I've achieved everything you've set out for me to do. I said, just because you don't fucking like me. Well, if you don't like it, appeal. I don't care. I'm retiring. I was like, fuck.
How was that for you in terms of like, your mental health?
Between the two of them, I got depression, quite bad, to the point where I was prescribed medication. But I remember asking the doctor, is it going to make me feel good straight away? And they said, no, it's going to make you feel worse. And I remember sitting in the chemist thinking, this is going to make me feel worse now, then I probably won't be here in a year. Because I was pretty low, and it was like, why am I doing this? So I think that if I'd gone down the road of antidepressants and it made me worse even more, I probably would have killed myself.
Did they offer you any talking therapies before just chucking antidepressants at you?
Antidepressants. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to my kids. Because when you do get low, that's the one thing that always like pulls you out is your kids. You're not destroying yourself with your kids. So, and that's when I started to like really running and gym work again, really. Just because I knew that the benefits of the gym would have been a lot quicker than the antidepressants.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about sort of fitness and well-being in terms of mental health. Meditation as well. Have you given meditation a go before?
No.
Meditation's, like I said earlier, running is your form of meditation clearly, but yeah, meditation is I need to do more of it. I haven't done enough meditation recently, but definitely meditation is so good, because the story you said earlier about how you sort of stopped in that moment and you told your friend's parents, just give me a moment. You were just there in that moment, and that's what meditation does for you.
Yeah, like during the last day, I was just thinking and thought to myself that, Christ, life's a bit like running an ultra, that if you push yourself too hard, something will break. But what you need to do is just wind your back, relax, and just take a look around and see where you are and what you've got. And so I did for the last day. I just really enjoyed it. Just looked at the scenery and it was just epic. Just sat there watching the seals in the sea. It was just stunning.
It's just so easy, isn't it, to get stuck on this hamster wheel of life, of, constantly going out, go to work, come home, rush around, rush, and like we forget all the good things that we've got going on. And
yeah, there's so much pressure on just husbands, I suppose, to be that perfect role model to the kids, perfect provider, and it does eat to you. Some days you're fine and flying, the next days you think, oh shit, what am I doing? I've got all these people that like to rely on me.
becomes a bit of a weight on the shoulders.
Yeah.
You've mentioned your kids a lot.
Yeah.
You've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I've got 3, and I know how hard 3 are. Tell me, how do you do it? How have you?
It's not too bad. 2 are from a previous, so they don't live with us. My eldest son's in Bridgend, still with his mum. He's in Cardiff Met. My eldest daughter, she's at sixth form in Hartbury, so she moved away when she was 16 because she wanted to play rugby. She's currently Welsh under 18s, so she's been around the world already this year, but she's playing rugby. Then I've got Das, who's 13, who's just, she should be a supermodel when she's older. She's just stunning, and she's one of those people who can do any sport she wants. She naturally falls into it. Then we got my youngest, Quinn, who's chopsy little shit. He's so sarcastic, it's just nuts. He's so intelligent. He's nuts. Like the other day, he mentioned what set he's on in school, and my 13-year-old daughter, he goes, he's on more than me. And he's only 10.
Yeah.
But he's super bright, super sarcastic. You just want to kill him sometimes.
Sounds similar to my boy.
Oh.
Yeah. Boys, do you find boys easier or girls?
Boys, I think.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. Well, I've got 2 girls and a boy, and my girls are just, you get a little bit of attitude off them, but actually she's going to be listening now. I just realised she's going to be, because my eldest daughter is actually doing the production for us, so she's probably got a big smile on her face. No, my girls are just so sweet, and my boy, I guess, he's turned into the teenage years now, so there's a lot of sort of back chat, and I compare him to Kevin and Perry.
Yeah.
That's my boy in a nutshell. I'm just like okay, something else I wanted to touch on, going through, and this is like completely off subject, but what the hell. I went through your Facebook and I come across this post and it blew my mind. Terminator is the prequel for The Matrix.
Yeah. Crazy.
What the hell?
Yeah. I can't remember how it goes now, but yeah, if you look it up online, it's real. It's the same writer, everything.
well, she did an interview, right? And she's saying about
She's explaining
John
it, isn't she?
Connor is
Yeah.
JC, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, and he's actually Neo in The
Yeah.
Matrix. And I just sat there, it was like, oh my God, I had to sort of I forget that I was researching you, and actually I'm now, you know,
Researching. That's what I did. I see the post. I was like, no, no. So I started like searching on Google. I was like, holy shit, yeah,
mind blown.
crazy.
So what do you think about the whole AI thing? Do you think we're sort of heading down that road of,
Yeah, scary shit. Really scary shit.
are you sort of a technophobe, or are you one who enjoys, will stay up with technology?
I stay with technology, but it's also scary shit. Like you see those ads on now on Instagram, and it's like Elon Musk or Putin and people like that speaking, and you know that's not them speaking. Why would they do an advert for that? And you know it's been put together by just AI. You can get apps now that do that. It's crazy.
And it's a real life person speaking,
Yeah,
but it's
nuts.
not that real person.
It's crazy.
It just does make you wonder, you know, what's going to happen
Yeah.
in the
What are we
future.
watching on telly these days now? On the news? Is that real? Who knows?
Things, people could be framed, things fabricated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, crazy crap.
yeah, it's interesting times.
Yeah.
Like my wife was saying the other day, she was going, if you could, would you go into the future or go into the past? And I was like,
Oh, pass, definitely.
yeah. I
Yeah.
said past, and then I was like, because I was going to go back and sort of give myself an education or what have you. But then I thought, if I go into the future, I can like look at the winning lottery numbers, you know. But she was like, you probably wouldn't like what you're going to see, like if you go in
No.
the future.
No, no money. Controlling every bit of pound you spend. Nah. Nah, that's gonna be nuts.
Seems to be going that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we won't get onto that because you'll end up like Russell Brand.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, so talk to me about your bit. So, are you currently you've got a personal training business? Have you still got the photography business as well?
No, I actually put my camera up for sale today because I just thought I haven't done one in the last year because it's so competitive now. I think when I started 7 years ago, there was enough wedding photographers then in Cardiff alone to cover every wedding in the UK. So God knows what it's like now. And people just want things for cheap now. They just see someone on Gumtree. Oh yeah, get 1,000 photos for like 150 quid. Yeah. Plus with the phones now today, you probably shoot a wedding on your phone now.
Yeah, because the cameras are
Oh,
the
they're
quality's
amazing.
so good. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? So is it just the you know, the personal training business you've got?
Yeah, just a personal training business I'm trying to build up now. I'm a manager in retail. Just started Monday. So that'll get me through Christmas. But I'm doing a HGV license because I want to do that and just save a bit of money for family because we want to buy our own house or build our own house. So HGV is the way to go, I think.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And if there's like any advice you could give to people who are thinking about starting their own business, what sort of advice would you give?
Probably do it properly and go to like someone like Business and Focus or Welsh Government, and then just commit and follow through with them properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's I know this a bit. I'm going like all over the place here with all my questions and everything. So obviously being a personal trainer, you probably get asked for diet plans as well. Is that something that you do for people? Or?
No, I just tell people to eat clean, stay off fizzy drinks, and just stay off
Processed
carbs.
foods.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah.
That simple.
I think we overcomplicate things, really, don't we?
100%.
You know, it's I gotta have this protein bar, and you know, I gotta have sort of these crisps because they're giving me X amount of calories.
Yeah, protein bar is okay as long as you want it 30 grams. Believe it or not, you can get it for like 20 grams, 25 grams in a pint of milk. So just grab some milk if you want protein. But always look for something that's 30 grams or over on your proteins and stuff. But yeah, protein, no processed carbs, and cut out fizzy drinks. It is that simple. If you're addicted to fizzy drinks, carbonated water.
Is that pretty much how you? Because you said earlier about being was it 106 kilos or 145?
105, possibly 108, my biggest. But no, I'm a terrible eater. I think because I run so much now, I just think, sod it, I can burn that off. I think because last week I lost 2 kilos in a week. Most runs I lose about a kilo, most ultras. But in a couple of days I always put it back on, so I know it's a lot of water where I've sweated it out. But yeah, I don't really tend to watch every day what I eat. I just know what I shouldn't eat. So I try to keep it in moderation, but I don't cut anything back either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Gavin does it.
I know.
Like that's dedication. What Gavin goes through. He watches every gram. That is just crazy, man.
Yeah, weighing in and everything. But it's again, it's another mindset, isn't it? Your mindset is, this running and what you've got in front of you, and his mindset is, right. You can sort of see that end goal with, watching what he's eating and what have you.
Yeah. Like with the running, I don't have to focus on it 100%, so it gives me a bit of a break. But what Gavin and bodybuilders do, that is just mental focus. That is just amazing.
Yeah. And it's not only the eating, it's the training they got to do as well.
Yeah, I think Gavin touched on it with his worst. The day he goes into the gym and he feels the worst, where he's dragged himself, the better days. And it's exactly the same for running. The days you're like really, shit, it's pissing down with rain, -5, I don't want to go. But they're the days you seem to sort of like, just go and go and go and go. I think you put so much pressure on a workout, and because you motivate yourself so much to get into it, it just becomes such a relief to get through it and do it.
Yeah.
And that's why it becomes your better workouts, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? Like, I guess for the likes of it, like I'm pretty solid on the gym now, and once you're into that cycle, it becomes hard even on the days that you're feeling tired or feeling like you can't be bothered. You're like, no, I'm going. It's that sort of...
It becomes routine.
It becomes routine, and you kind of don't want to miss it, but there's lots of people who find it hard to even get started.
Yeah, so I got started as well by listening to loads of audiobooks. So I think the first one I listened to was Compound Effect, where you make one little change a week.
You got the book up there.
Yeah, wicked book. And then over time that becomes a habit, and then you make another one, and then before long you've made so many changes and 6 months down the line you've lost or changed so much in your life. It's just nuts. But you got to start with little changes first.
Yeah. I think it's in that book, the analogy I like they use, where it's like going on a plane journey.
Yes, that's the one that always sticks in mind.
That 1 degree
out,
will give you, the destination will be, you can go 1 degree to the height or 1 degree
that's
down
what
here.
sticks in my head from that book as well.
Yeah,
it's
massive.
Crazy. And also loads of Tony Robbins stuff, Breakthrough.
Yeah.
So there's loads out there for helping you change your mindset, and I suppose that's a good way to start, because once you listen to it all the time, your whole mindset starts to change, and you get more focused on sort of like making those changes, and then getting out to the gym, getting out for a run, even just taking the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
But you started that process.
That's it. Yeah, that's kind of the habit I'm in at the moment with the dog. Is like, actually we haven't been tonight. I see him looking at me earlier as if to say, like, why are we not going? But it's good habits to get into, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear my boy is in the room just above us, like wrestling with his Xbox. But anyway, on that note, I just want to thank you for giving up your time to come all the way up into rainy Caerphilly.
When I googled so I can put your address in, first thing that came to mind when I see the map, look at those trails just behind his house.
Yeah, no, there is some good trails around here, and you're going up sort of on the mountain and what have you as well. So yeah, it should definitely.
I've been up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's long enough though. It definitely would be long enough for you.
Yes, we did. Is it Penalta up in Ystrad?
Yes.
So we ran from there down to Risca, along the top, then along Ridgeway, and then back up towards Penalta. It was like 32 miles.
Nice.
Yeah, wicked
Nice.
when that is.
Yeah. We'll have to, I might have to sort of come and have a look. I don't know if I would be ready for that sort of distance, but
Visualize it.
yeah.
Just do it.
It's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Visualization.
Yeah. You just got to do it. Just sign up and just bite the bullet and just go for it.
Yeah.
And once you establish that mentality, that, yeah, I'm gonna get this shit done.
Yeah, because I think I would prefer the sort of cross country stuff, you know, up hills and what have you, more than on the road.
So you're signing up to one next June then, yeah?
Yeah.
Along the Vale.
Yeah, let's
along
go.
The coastal.
How far is that?
42.
42 miles.
Yeah, get Rabbit doing it as well.
He was in so much agony from the half marathon. I don't think I'd have any chance.
Yeah, it's road though. It's completely different. It ruins your body. Trails, you're like every step's different, so
Yeah,
it's nice and easy.
like you say, you can enjoy it. You can sort of slow down, can't you?
Yeah,
And stop.
you can run through Barry Islands, have a donut, have a drink.
Yeah,
Yeah, do it.
that sounds my cup of tea. That just stopping and having
Or,
a donut.
if you really want to push your limits, sign up for the Big Moose wing walk.
Yeah, what's that?
You strapped to the top of a biplane.
Yeah.
You stood up on a plane on a wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they got a few places if you want to sign up.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, do it.
I definitely want to speak to them.
Yeah.
I would like to have those guys come on the show as well. So I definitely think, yeah, that's my next protocol, is to have a chat with them.
Alright, I'll message them for you as well.
Good. Okay. Again, thanks for coming and obviously sharing your stories. I think you'll be well prepped now, ready for your life stories for Big Moose.
Yeah, hopefully.
Lovely. Thanks, Nathan. Thanks for coming on.